Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Dr. Salman Ahmed Shaikh. I am director at Islamic Economics Project, and I'm very happy to be part of this conference, Third Divine Economics Conference. The title of my paper is Integrating Values in Economics, Challenges and Prospects. So this is going to be my presentation outline. First, I will discuss whether there is a need to have a values-driven framework in economics. And then I would discuss that one of the potential solution could be that we need to strengthen the universal values. Then the question arises that what are the universal values which we can drive and focus upon in the light of teachings of divine religions. And then I would discuss how religion and economics become relevant to each other, and how divine economics framework can enable the analysis of economic behavior as well as religious behavior. Uh, and then I would discuss what are the challenges faced in the divine economics framework and what could be the potential solutions to overcome those challenges. So is there a need for a values driven framework? Certainly there is. If you look at the sustainability challenges that we are facing species extinction, global warming, climate change, depletion of the ozone layer. There are massive carbon emissions. We are facing deforestation, sea contamination, frequent heat waves, floods, melting of glaciers, and all of this is causing enormous problem in the form of loss of marine and tropical forest species. Another problem that we face is that there is a rise in income and wealth inequality, and this is happening all across the globe, in developing countries as well as in developed countries. And it's not just that the growth is unequal, but there is inequality in access to basic essentials of life, like food, like access to finance. So, for instance, if we look at the FAO statistics, what we see is that food per capita has been increasing ever since 1960s, but still we face the problems of poverty and hunger. So what we need responsible behavior. We need to conserve the environmental resources. We need to preserve the environment. We need to respect the planetary boundaries. We need to have a just economic system. We need to ensure distributive justice, and we need to have a just and congenial relationship with the ecology and biodiversity. But the problem is that the self-interested paradigm in economics indirectly promotes individualism, greed, and accumulation. And the godless worldview justifies all these negative traits, this value system, through survival instincts. So these are some of the universal values that we can focus upon in the light of teachings of divine religions, like caring for others, establishing justice, ensuring truthfulness, observing fairness, and keeping trust. And these values are universal not only in the current time period but also across time and space. And values given by divine religions are objective and universal. And we know that for values to be universal, they have to be shared broadly across time and space. And when we look at the divine religions, they are the best source of giving us the universal values, which are universal not only in the current time period but also across time and space. So religion and economics become important and relevant, and their paths cross each other. And I have summarized these situations in the form of postulates. Postulate 1 says that religious values and norms are used in legislation and they affect preferences, choices, and markets. Postulate 2 says that religious institutions help in social intermediation and redistribution of economic resources beyond markets. Postulate 3 says that economics recognizes time as resource and religious people spend time in religious activities or religiously inspired activities. And the last postulate says that economics recognizes scarcity of endowments and religious people use these endowments, their resources, in religiously inspired spending. So in this regard, what divine economics is trying to do is that it is trying to incorporate the universal values and religiously inspired economic decisions into the economic analysis. So divine economics is a framework for the study of religion and economics in each other's perspective. One important contribution of divine economics is that it measures religiosity not just as a categorical variable, but by including worship, attitude, and religious values in a comprehensive way to measure religiosity. It establishes a link for cross communication between mainstream economists and the faith inspired economists by using a framework that is agreeable to both. And then this framework also provides a way to see how people substitute time with money to have the desired spiritual fulfillment and well-being. So some studies in divine economics framework have also looked at what is the effect of religiosity on the well-being of an individual. There are certain challenges which are faced in divine economics research. For instance, overlap between religious and non-religious activities. So some activities might be considered as non-religious, but if they are done with the right mindset and motive, then they can be considered as religious activities. Another challenge is that quantity and quality both matter in religiosity. So quantity is observable and measurable, but when it comes to quality, it is difficult to measure quality. Another challenge is dual hypothesis problem. So for instance, if we explore the research question that is there a relationship between religiosity and well-being, and if we find a negative relationship, then we need to ask whether there is a problem in religiosity or the way we are measuring the religiosity. Another fundamental challenge that comes in this framework is that this framework uses the mainstream economics framework to analyze market behavior. Now, market centric analysis put price tag on everything, but not all religious activities would have a price tag or would have a supply side. And then another challenge that comes is that we can have more factual data from observation or third party evaluation or neutral evaluation as compared to just asking the people and relying on their stated preferences. Another challenge is that if we analyze market economic behavior, it is focusing more on efficiency rather than equity. So in terms of market economic behavior, all of the people, whether they are indulging in religious activities or not indulging in religious activities, they are all making Pareto optimal decisions. So all of them are optimizing their consumption function or any objective function, even if they are having different level of religious spending or religious activities in their choice behavior. Another challenge is that religiosity level is a net of positive and negative actions. So it's not just a sum of all the positive actions, it is a net total of positive and negative actions. Now it is very difficult to collect data on the negative actions to measure religiosity in a comprehensive and correct manner. So these are some of the challenges which are faced in divine economics research. Appreciably, most of these challenges have already been overcome by divine economics framework, and some of the challenges can be overcome in future research studies. Some of the potential solutions could be that we embrace the integrative methodology to distinguish between economic and non-economic behavior. And in research studies where we are analyzing Islamic banking, takaful, other Islamic financial institutions, and also halal goods and services, we have a supply side and we have a market for such products. So the analysis concerning these products and these institutions could be done using the mainstream economics framework without any problem. When it comes to verifying the data or measuring religiosity in a comprehensive and accurate manner, divine economics framework has a very robust strategy to cross verify the data so that the data is authentic and the religiosity is measured in a appropriate manner. If we look at the future research directions, so far divine economics framework is looking at individual well-being, but if the researches are extended to also measure well-being at the societal level and at the national level, then we can develop certain indices and certain uh, performance benchmarks to analyze and compare societies and nations as well in the divine economics framework. So this was a summary of my humble contribution for third Divine Economics Conference. I congratulate the organizers for organizing this conference once again, and it is heartening to note that speakers from all over the globe have participated in this conference, and I wish them success in their researches. And also I hope that the findings of this conference would lead to new research directions, especially enriching economics to incorporate the religious behavior into the economic analysis and incorporate the values in the economic analysis, because we need to have a value driven economic framework in order to meet the current and future challenges that we are facing. Thank you.